Hey guys, now yesterday in a thread to Davido I mentioned about this trick that I picked up from Bonamassa, and kind of Mark Knopfler as well. I noticed does it quite a bit, but mainly it's from Bonamassa. Well, Bonamassa that I realised that he was doing it. Now Guitar Dave asked me what I was talking about, and I think I've mentioned this before in a video, possibly just a thread, I can't quite remember. So anyway, it deserves its own video because it's a good trick. Anyway, what it is the concept of adding an extra note onto the end of your riff. Sorry, I'm distracted. Yes. Okay. You add an extra note onto the end of your riff, and it will add a lot of style to it, and it will sound a lot more flavoursome and things like that. Anyway, I'll demonstrate. I'll take one riff from one of his songs, and then I'll explain. If I play it right. Okay, so when there's two riffs there, let's split it into two. You can hear my point on the end of each. That note there. See, he's clearly finishing on this G note here. But then just after it there's this extra note, which just adds a little bit of something extra. Because if you're playing a long solo, like say 5 minutes like I've been doing in mine, or Davido did one the other day, things like that, by the end of it, if you keep finishing on a root note, then you've kind of heard it, you know, it gets repetitive by the end. Mine do nearly all the time, I'm the first to admit it. They're not all fantastic, but you know, we're all learning as we go along. So I believe he's probably, I think this song's in D, so he's actually up here at the fourth, and then he's going down to a third at the end. The pull off is to a third, so it kind of finishes the riff off nicely, kind of resolves it. But you can hear the way he plays it, it's resolved on this 12, this G note. Then he does that and it goes down and it sounds nice, it adds a little bit of something extra. Then the next part it does the same thing. So it's obviously finishing there on that G. Again, but it goes down again. So what happens is, if you're finishing on a root, you can basically just do a little flick on either the next or the note before it in the scale. So if you know your pentatonics, just go down a fret. Just do whatever you want really, just find a note that sounds nice and just flick to it. A good example of this is in a whole solo, is The Great Flood from his John Henry album. I'll play through it and you can really hear the little flicks that he adds, because it's a fairly slow solo and expressive, and well, it's just a perfect example. So I'll play this through now, okay? So he does it on nearly every riff there. You resolve, so you play your riff as you normally would, and then because the emphasis is still on the same note that you would normally finish on, but then it's that little bit of something extra, just a little something. Doesn't have to be a big note. You know, just anything. It just adds a little, it breaks the line up, because if you're playing the same thing over and over again, you know, you're going to get bored. So if you do anything that you can to split that pattern, it's going to help. Anyway, that was my idea, or Joe's idea, or whoever's idea in the past, but that was the, you know, what I picked up. So the other thing, yesterday I was asking about volume swells, because I've been trying to practice them. You can see with a Telecaster, if you also use a Bonamassa method, you can kind of lean over with your little finger and do that sort of as you're playing. I am not good enough yet. I'm practicing that, and that is for off camera. Okay. But what I've been doing in my videos, just adding a little bit of them in to add a bit of spice here and there. They're good complementary things. If you're playing a solo and you want to break it up, you can add, you know, a little bit of it adds kind of a vocal tone to it. Now what I've been doing, the way I do them, is you have to play the note just before you want to hear it, obviously. So you turn the volume off, then you play a note, then you begin to turn it up on the beat. That's the difficult part, because you have to think ahead and play it before you want to hear it, obviously. The problem that I've been coming into is, if I play a bend with the volume at 10, it will sustain for a certain amount of time. If I play it with the volume off and then bend it and then turn it up, it's much shorter. There it sounded the same, obviously because my camera's on, it's going to work perfectly. But in practice, when I play that and then turn it up, it doesn't seem to have the same impact as it should have at the same time as if I kept the volume up from the start. Okay, so it seems to die away easier. So it's something in the guts of a guitar that does that. I'm not quite sure why. It's only subtle though, but it just makes it that much more difficult to actually do them. Clay offered his advice saying you should turn the gain up, because he tries them and you have to turn the gain, otherwise you know, get this problem. It helps to solve them, so you can try that. But they seem to be good for playing underneath. Say if you're doing overdubs on something like I do occasionally, you can add them just to add a little bit of flavour in the background. So I guess this video is all about adding flavour to your solos. Bonamassa effect, as I'm going to call it, and volume swells. Throw them into your videos and, you know, see the results. The Bonamassa thing, I can't stress it enough, because it makes you sound more of a professional player, I think. I know Mark Knopfler does it a lot, and we all know how he sounds. So, you know, learn from the best, I suppose. I hope that helped. I will see you later, and now I am off to watch DVDs. Yes, see you later.